Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Much respect to you, Akim Agwafim, pushing this true faith, and sincerity. Shalom. So today in this lesson, man, we're going to be basically going over, this quick edification on this, this article I just came across, from RT. It was great. It's honestly a great channel, that really pushes out the news, the true news that's going around the world. So if you brothers need to know what's going on, subscribe to RT, subscribe to CNN, subscribe to all the news stations, because to be a prophet, you have to know what's going on, because you can't tell someone what's going to happen if you don't know what's even going on in the present time, But in this article, let's read the title. California's Newsom faces criticism after admitting 12-year-old daughter not jabbed amid own push for vaccine mandate for kids. So basically, this guy from California, the state of California, he's one of the people, that's pushing, for kids to be, jabbed. But at the end of the day, his own daughter is not even jabbed, And we know that's very hypocritical. Now let's continue to read the article. California Governor Gavin Newsom has come under fire for delaying his own teenage daughter's C-19 vaccination while foaming at the lagging vaccination rate in those aged 12 and 17 and pushing for the broad vaccine mandate. Conservatives have been up in arms over the recent report that Newsom's 12-year-old daughter has yet to get her C-19 jab, despite her father publicly encouraging parents to vaccinate their children, even through the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has yet to fully greenlight that immunization. Newsom told the Los Angeles Times on Thursday that his daughter, who turned 12 last month, has now received the vaccine because she was scheduled a series of other shots. However, on Saturday, the Washington Examiner reported that the governor's office told the publication that the 12-year-old would not receive her C-19 vaccination in a few days. The revelation has prompted Newsom's detractors to accuse him of double standards, so typical of Gavin Newsom. Rules for thee, but not for me, one critic tweeted. How is this not the biggest story in America right now? Gavin Newsom mandates everyone else to get C-19 vaccinated, yet he didn't get his own kid vaccinated, basically admitting that she doesn't have her other vaccines yet, the actually effective ones. Bro, so people are waking up to how, Esau is very hypocritical. Everyone's waking up to how, Esau is the devil. As she quoted, as the woman quoted in the tweet, let's read it again. It says, rules for thee, but not for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, a poor ruler does, He makes rules for the people, but doesn't make rules for himself, And that's very off. That's very unorderly, Let's go to the precepts, bro. This book of Proverbs, chapter 23, starting at the 6th verse, and it reads, Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. So this precept is telling us, eat not the bread of him that hath an evil eye. So the bread represents, a device, and eating, represents consuming his device, So eat not the bread of them that have an evil eye, neither desire his dainty meats. Because at the end of the day, the masses, even the masses know that Esau is the devil, and Esau, so-called Caucasian man, has an evil eye towards the world, even his own people, man. So the Lord's commanding us, don't consume his devices, don't eat the bread of him that have an evil eye. Verse 7. For as he thinketh his heart, so is he eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. So they're gonna be out here, eating and drinking, spiritually eating and drinking with you, having a good time. Oh, take this. Everything's gonna be all right, bro. The world's gonna be better. Oh, you're gonna be able to play basketball, or you're gonna be able to go to the club if you get vaccinated or you get jabbed. But at the end of the day, his heart is not with thee because, Esau knows the ingredients, that's in there. This is why this guy knows what the ingredients in this that's in the vaccine. That's why he didn't give his daughter it, man. Because he knows what's in there. He's hired to basically, play a script, by the elites. But at the end of the day, these people, their heart is not with thee. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, they have an evil eye towards you. In verse 8, the morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words, So the morsel which thou shalt eat, basically the consume, the consumation of Esau's device. At the end of the day, you're gonna vomit it because soon you're about to see a lot of people who get jabbed. They're about to be falling down, dying out of nowhere. You're about to see these people have brain tumors, have all these things that function and mess up their body, because before you take these things, you have to look at the ingredients, that's in them. For example, there's an ingredient in the vaccine called Luciferian. Doesn't that sound very sick? That sounds very sick. If you go to the word Lucifer, it means light bearer. And we know that this ingredient is going to bear the light because ultimately they're trying to take away the God gene. That's the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, And this is why they're pushing, for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and for example, vax the blacks. They're pushing that because they want to destroy Jake, And it's only the beginning because they're using this as a preludation, of pushing Marcus the Beast, which is ultimately going to take away, and take over your whole body, man. Yeah, so, and because at the end of the day, when you take these things and you start becoming sick, and you start to become, what would I say? When you wake up to the fact that you should have never took this, or you should have never did this with Esau, you're going to vomit it up and lose that sweet words because at the end of the day, you're going to see how the serpent has never changed. The serpent will never change. He's always going to be deceptive. Always. Let's go to the book of Matthew, to close it out. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 5. And it reads, Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam of thy own eye. Then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye. So, the governor, the California governor, he was being very hypocritical. First he was supposed to cast out his own eye, by having, his daughter take the vaccine before making the whole population over there, take the vaccine. And that's very unfair because ultimately that's very hypocritical, He's supposed to make his daughter get jabbed first before he makes everyone else's kids get jabbed, Go to verse 6. Nah, Salakia. No, it's like, yeah, with that, we can clearly see, how Esau is very, is very, deceptive. Esau is the forges of lies. The serpent's always gonna be the serpent, and the serpent's aware. He's wiser than Daniel. He knows the things that are in these things. He knows the plan. Esau, he has a master plan to try to take over the world, man. It was NWO with the Marquis the Beast. So with that, Lord willing, you edify. Shalom.